Shalom and welcome to Daily Torah Reading. We are in Leviticus or Viagra chapter 4. Viagra is the Hebrew word for Leviticus. So let's pick up where we left off yesterday with chapter 4, verse 1. Yahweh spoke to Moshe saying, "Speak to Bnei Israel thus, when a person unwittingly incurs guilt in regard to any of Yahweh's commandments about things not to be done, and done one of them, if it is the anointed Kohen who has incurred guilt, so the blame falls upon the people, he shall offer for the sin of which he is guilty a bull of the herd without blemish as a sin offering to Yahweh. He shall bring a bull to the entrance of the tent of meeting before Yahweh, and lay his hands upon the head of the bull. The bull shall be slaughtered before Yahweh, and the anointed Kohen shall take some of the bull's blood and bring it into the tent of meeting. The Kohen shall dip his finger into the blood and sprinkle of the blood 7 times before Yahweh in front of the curtain of the shrine. The Kohen shall put some of the blood on the horns of the mizbeach of aromatic incense, which is in the tent of meetings before Yahweh, and all the rest of the bull's blood he shall pour out at the base of the mizbeach of burnt offering, for it is at the entrance of the tent of meetings. He shall remove all the fat from the bull of sin offering, the fat that covers the entrails, and all the fat that is about the entrails, the 2 kidneys and the fat that is on them, that is at the loins, and the protuberance on the liver, which he shall remove with the kidneys. 10. Just as it is removed from the ark of the sacrifice of well-being, the Kohen shall turn them into smoke on the mizbeach of burnt offering, but the hide of the bull and all the flesh, as well as the head and legs, its entrails and its tongue, all the rest of the bull, he shall carry to the clean place outside the camp to the ash heap, and burn it up in the wood fire. It shall be burned on the ash heap. If it is the whole community of Israel that has erred, a matter escapes the notice of the congregation, so that they do any of the things which by Yahweh commandments ought not to be done, and they realize their guilt. When the sin through which they incurred guilt becomes known, the congregation shall offer a bull of the herd as a sin offering and bring it before the tent of meetings. The elders of the community shall lay their hands upon the head of the bull before Yahweh, and the bull shall be slaughtered before Yahweh. The anointed Kohen shall bring some of the blood of the bull into the tent of meetings, and the Kohen shall dip his finger on the blood and sprinkle it 7 times before Yahweh in front of the curtain. Some of the blood he shall put on the horns of the mizbeach, which is before Yahweh in the tent of meeting, and the rest of the blood he shall pour out at the base of the mizbeach of burnt offering, which is at the entrance of the tent meetings. He shall remove all its fat from it and turn it into smoke on the mizbeach. 20. He shall do with this bull, as is done with the Kohen bull of sin offering. He shall do the same with it. Thus the corner shall make expiation for them, and they shall be forgiven. He shall carry the bull outside the camp and burn it, as a burn the first bull. It is the sin offering of the congregation. In case of the chieftain who incurs guilt by doing unwittingly any of the things by which the commandment of Yahweh his God ought not to be done, and he realizes his guilt, or the sin of which he is guilty is brought to his knowledge, he shall bring as his offering a male goat without blemish. He shall lay his hand upon the goat's head, and shall be slaughtering at the spot where the burnt offering is slaughtered before Yahweh. It is the sin offering. The Cohen shall take with his finger some of the blood of the sin offering and put it on the horns of the mizpah of burnt offering, and the test of it, and the rest of its blood he shall pour out at the base of the mizpah of burnt offering. It is fat, all its fat he shall turn into smoke of the mizpah, like the fat of the sacrifice of well-being. Thus the Kohen shall make expiation on his behalf for his sin, and he shall be forgiven. If any person from among the populace unwittingly incurs guilt by doing any of the things which by Yahweh's commandments ought not to be done, and he realizes his guilt, or the sin of which he is guilty is brought to his knowledge, he shall bring a female goat without blemish as his offering for the sin of which he is guilty. He shall lay his hand upon the head of the sin offering, and the sin offering shall be slaughtered at the place of the burnt offering. 30. The Kohen shall take with his finger some of the blood, and put it on the horns of the mizpah of burnt offering, and all the rest of the blood he shall pour out at the base of the mizpah. He shall remove all its fat, just as the fat is removed from the sacrifice of well-being, and the Kohen shall turn it into smoke on the mizpah for a pleasing odor to Yahweh. Thus the Kohen shall make expiation for him, and he shall be forgiven. If the offering he brings is the sin offering of a sheep, he shall bring a female without blemish. He shall lay his hand upon the head of the sin offering, and it shall be slaughtered as a sin offering at the spot where the burnt offering is slaughtered. The Kohen shall take with the finger some of the blood of the sin offering, and put it on the horns of the mizpah of the burnt offering, and all the rest of its blood he shall pour out at the base of the mizpah, and all its fat he shall remove as the fat of the sheep of the sacrifice as well-being is removed, and this the Kohen shall turn into smoke on the mizpah, offer over Yahweh's offering by fire. Thus the Kohen shall make expiation on his behalf for the sin of which he is guilty, and he shall be forgiven. Chapter 5. If a person incurs guilt when he is heard, a public imprecation, and also able to testify as one who has either seen or learned of the matter. He does not give information so that he is subject to punishment. Or when a person touches any unclean thing, be it the carcass of an unclean beast, or the carcass of an unclean cattle, or the carcass of an unclean creeping thing, and the fact has escaped him, and then brings being unclean, he realizes his guilt. Or when he touches human uncleanness, any such uncleanness whereby one becomes unclean, and though he has known it, the fact has escaped him, but later he realizes his guilt. Or when a person utters an oath to bad or good purpose, whether a man may utter in an oath, and though he has known it, the fact has escaped him, but later he realizes his guilt in any of these matters. When he realizes his guilt in any of these matters, he shall confess that wherein he has sinned, and he shall bring as the penalty of Yahweh, and he shall bring as his penalty to Yahweh for the sin of which he is guilty, a female from the flock, sheep, or goat, as a sin offering, and the Cohen shall make expiation on his behalf for his sin. But if his means do not suffer for a sheep, he shall bring to Yahweh as his penalty for that which he is guilty 2 turtle doves or 2 pigeons, one for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering. He shall bring them to the Cohen, who shall offer first the one for the sin offering, pinching its head at the nape without severing it. He shall sprinkle some of the blood of the sin offering on the side of Mizpah. What remains of the blood shall be drained out of the base of the Mizpah. It is a sin offering. 10. And the second he shall prepare as a burnt offering according to regulations. Thus the Cohen shall make expiation on his behalf for the sin of which he is guilty, and he shall be forgiven. And if the means do not suffice for 2 turtle doves or 2 pigeons, he shall bring as his offering for that of which he is guilty 1/10 of an ephah of choice flour for the sin offering. He shall not add oil to it or lay frankincense on it, for it is a sin offering. He shall bring it to the Cohen, and the Cohen shall scoop out of it a handful as a token portion of it, and turn it into smoke on the Mizpah with Yahweh's offerings by fire, for it is a sin offering. Thus the Cohen shall make expiation on his behalf for whichever of these sins offering he is guilty, and he shall be forgiven. It shall belong to the Cohen for the meal offering. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, when a person commits trespass, being unwittingly remiss about any of Yahweh's sacred things, he shall bring as his penalty to Yahweh a ram without blemish from the flock, convertible into payment in silver by the sanctuary weight, as a guilt offering. He shall make restitution for that wherein he was remiss about the sacred thing, and he shall add to a 5th part of it, and give it to the Cohen. The Cohen shall make expiation on his behalf with the ram of the guilt offering, and he shall be forgiven. And when a person without not knowing it sins in regard to any of Yahweh's commandments about things not to be done, and then realize his guilt, he shall be subject to punishment. He shall bring to the Kohen a ram without blemish from the flock of his or his equivalent as a guilt offering. The Kohen shall make expiation on his behalf for the error that he committed unwittingly, and he shall be forgiven. It is a guilt offering. He has incurred guilt before Yahweh. Verse 20, Yahweh spoke to Moses, when a person sins and commits a trespass against Yahweh by dealing deceitfully with his fellow in the matter of a deposit or a pledge, or through robbery, or by defrauding his fellow, or by finding something lost and lying about it, if he swears falsely regarding any of the virtuous things that one may do and sin thereby. When one has thus sinned and realizes his guilt, would restore that which he got through robbery or fraud, or the deposit of this was entrusted to him, or the lost thing that was found, or anything else about which he swore falsely, he shall repay the principal amount and add a fifth part to it. He shall pay it to its owner when his realization 24. Anything that else about which he swore falsely, or shall repay the principal amount and add a fifth part to it, he shall pay it to its owner when he realizes his guilt. Thus he shall bring to the Kohen as his penalty to Yahweh a ram without blemish from the flock, or the equation of a guilt offering. The Kohen shall make expiation on his behalf before Yahweh, and he shall be forgiven for whatever he may have done to draw blame thereby. This concludes the reading for today. May Yah bless you and keep you. May Yah shine his light upon you and give you shalom. Shalom, everybody, and have a blessed Shabbat Shalom. From Scriptures 365, from Daily Torah reading. Shabbat Shalom.